artists must be allowed to go through bad periods. They must be allowed to do bad work. They must be allowed to get in a mess. They must be allowed to have dud experiments. They must also be allowed to have periods where they repeat themselves in a rather aimless, fruitless way before they can pick up and go on. The kind of attention that they get now, the kind of atmosphere of excitement which attends today the creation of works of art, the way that everything is done too much in the public eye, it's really too much. The pressures are of a kind which are anti-creative.
Hope you're doing good there, Ben, studio at the lake. So this is going to be a different beachcombing video, and it's going to be a carving video also. So about 3 weeks back, being a YouTube creator, yeah, I don't know if it happens to you. I don't watch much YouTube actually, but it's such a good library for anything that you want to learn. But I get suggested lots of different channels. I don't subscribe to them. And I just kind of watch my normal channels for maybe half an hour a night if they have new videos. So, like I said, being a YouTube creator, I get suggested lots of different wood carving channels and art channels and stuff like that. And I got this recommendation for this. It was a old chisel gouge carving video, and the guy was carving like a mountain man on it. I started watching the video, and I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. And it was like 25 years old. I thought because I can't connect the dots sometimes with my injury, I thought what happened was somebody just had that video and shared it. It's an old course, how to carve the mountain man, right? So I believe the man used to charge money to see that video. But so then 2 weeks later, a week later, last couple days ago, actually, about 3 days ago, Just Carve Rob sent me a link of carving an eagle face on a piece of driftwood. And I watched the video and I connected the dots and I said, hey, that's the same carver. I knew because he has a missing index finger. I don't know how he lost it. He doesn't even know who I am. I knew it was the same. I said, Rob, that's the same guy that I was telling you about the videos. He goes, yeah. Rob says, yeah, I used to follow him. I used to follow him lots. And so I watched his mountain man carving video like four times, because he is such a good teacher, and we should all be very fortunate that he's decided to start a YouTube channel. I believe it's called his channel's Branson something, but when he does wood carving, he calls it Carver's Corner. His name's Rick Branson. He doesn't know who I am. I don't know, maybe he does. Maybe he's one of the guys that doesn't like me and like, who's this idiot trying to teach how to carve? But I did leave a comment on one of his videos saying that I'm his biggest fan, and he replied, he said, oh, thank you, that's fantastic to hear. We plan on making more. So I think you guys got to head over there. I will leave a link below in the description. This carving that I'm doing, I'm basing it on his eagle head driftwood piece carving video. So subscribe to his channel. Then his most recent video is the eagle head on driftwood, and he says it's very basic. It's just to give you the shape of the eagle. I'm sure if this guy wanted to carve a real looking eagle, Google his name, Rex Branson. Him and his wife, I believe it's him and his wife, are marble sculptors too. And he also does lots of like metalworking, welding stuff with like junk stuff, making funny little creatures. And I'm like, great, just freaking great. I got a welder now, a shitty little welder. Now I just got a plasma cutter. This is absolutely fantastic. Jordy wastes more money on stuff that he doesn't need to waste money on buying metal and stuff like that. So here he is.
And 9 sweep, and it's probably 1.25 inches or so wide. And I've got a V tool here, which is pretty darn big V. Most of you probably don't have a V this big, but for roughing in, I really like a big V. But you don't have to have these exact same tools. We are just going to read into our bark now. Let me set these down. They're going to be about that wide, maybe even narrower, but you're always better to keep it narrow. Now, keep your center line going down the center for now. Once you've mapped approximately where the wings go, I'm going with that bigger one I showed you, just to be safe, because that's what I'm here teaching you, is always stay big. And look, I'm going towards the outside. I'm not going straight in. If I went here, and I know my hand's right in the way of the camera, but if I went straight in and I didn't like it, then I wouldn't have any recourse. But by going here at an outwards angle and in, I always have the chance to come back and re-clip these, mapping or framing a little bit. Don't get too close to the bottom of his nose with it, because then you won't have any recourse if you've got it too short. So I always rough in long. See how long I'm leaving this, where my finger's out there? A little bit. I'm going to take my V-tool and clean up along the edges of his hair. Now I'm going to tip it towards the pupil here. Don't swag down very deep, downwards very far. See how I kept that kind of straight for now? Because see, I can always open it up wider if I need to.
I like this because you can just find the wood somewhere. I'll show you this guy here. This is actually a pine knot. And years ago, when I was down in northern Arizona along the rim by Flagstaff, there's tons of these pine knots like this. And gosh, I must have carved 50 of these different guys like this with a hat and stuff. Here again, this pine knots, if you've ever tried to carve a pine knot, these things are hard, man. They don't carve very well. And so I got to where I would use a Dremel tool to carve some of it, and then I would go back in later on with hand tools and finish it up. Different things with driftwood. This is just a little grape guy with some grape leaves. Here again, this is red cedar. The reason I've got so much red cedar stuff is back when I lived in Oklahoma, one of my favorite days was to go out with the canoe or in a boat, and just spend the day collecting driftwood. And so I'm still, to this, here we are 25 years later, I am still carving some of that same driftwood. But like, here's a little wine guy here. I have another one here, a wine guy where I've carved some grapes and done using the roots up here. But notice here how I've drilled through this. So it's a wine bottle holder, and it hangs on the wall like in your wine room or wherever, and you can put a bottle of wine back there. So anyway, without wasting too much of our time today, let's talk about our project here. Let me draw the pattern right quick for you. Very simple pattern. Let's just say that the driftwood is flowing however it's flowing here. Could be anything. But all I'm going to do is cut an eagle head in this. Get his beak coming around here. Now this beak can be shaped various ways. Some of these guys I call a thunderbird more than I do an eagle or something. But this is your basic pattern of the head, and you got the brow going here. And the other tools, now you don't need 3 V-tools either. But if you've done much carving, you know why I got 3 V-tools here, because one of these probably is duller or sharper than the others. And so I got a small V for the beak here when I get ready to put this beak in. Let me go ahead and draw the rest of the pattern. Oh, finish talking about the V-tools first. These are about the same size V-tool, but one of these obviously is sharper than the other one. And usually, if your V-tools are like mine, you're going to have to try to find which one's the sharpest to do the job with. So, one is a big influence of mine. I'll tell you, I'm starting to thin this lower beak up here while I'm BSing you guys a little. I'll tell you who else was one of the biggest influences for me, and probably you guys too, was Harold Enlow. I've known Harold, gosh, for 35 years or more.
So, like, how cool is that? I think it's the coolest thing ever. I'm just a freaking freak when it comes to wood carving, and I'm starting to get all the chisels and all the knives and stuff like that too. So Here's a piece that I found that kind of, I couldn't really find any really awesome root pieces like he's showing in his video. And I only showed clips because, you got to really go over there and watch his video. I just kind of wanted to show you guys about what he's about. And he's great at storytelling when he's carving too. So I really love it. Just because I like it. That's a natural nook in a piece of wood that I've always wanted to carve a wood spirit. I found it, so I grabbed it. I'll carve it sooner or later. A real nook. So here is going to be another piece. I'm just showing you guys this. I found it. It's a hollow piece. It's all kind of gnarly and cracked and stuff like that, but maybe one day I might be able to make a lamp out of it or something. A negative space wood spirit on there or something. But this piece is red cedar. So I got the two pieces from the beach. I'm going to try and follow along with his video. But I've doing this voiceover, I've already done the carving, and it's not like his, but it's, anyways, it says it's kind of some kind of bird, but. So let's grab these pieces, go home. Here's another piece, kind of gnarly, but I see faces in there, but that's not, this video is not about faces. And does anybody need a dock float and old school anchor, rock anchor? So here we are once again. These are the two pieces I found best on the beach that would go along with Rex's. The best I could find. He's like in his videos, he says he's had his around for forever. And also when you watch his videos, he talks about cedar. He uses the cedar that he's got is Eastern red cedar, also known as juniper, and it's a lot harder than Western red cedar. This is Western red cedar right here. I can tell by the bark. I cut this little end off with my chainsaw. Okay, and this is, I believe, a Douglas fir root piece. It would be like so it ripped in half. This would be underground here, and then the tree would be coming up right there. So here's the end grain of the Douglas fir. I think it's Douglas fir. It might be older. I'm not too sure. Maybe a good chance it's older. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow along with Rex. Well, I've watched that eagle video that he's got 3 times. So I'm going to put an eagle in one of these ones here for this video. And I think I'm going to choose this one here. I'm going to say I'm tempted to carve all down here. I asked just carve Rob if I should carve this into mountains and trees and stuff like that. And he says, nah, just leave it plain. So all we're going to do is carve an eagle head in here today. So I was going to start drawing the eagle head on, but I figure I should kind of mark out where I want to put. So his beak will be here. And how far do I want to take this eagle head back? So I think right about here. I think I'm going to clean up this wood first. Get it all nice and clean, all the gray off of it, and get to the natural wood color. Then we can start moving forward. All right there. So I got it cleaned up as good as I wanted to clean it up now. So here you can see the sapwood, and then you can see the hardwood. The whitewood's the hardwood. The yellow wood is the sapwood. I did cut it back a bit on the back too to make the beak a bit thinner. So where do I want to start drawing my face on? One comment Rex did make on his videos is, lots of times they turn out like thunderbirds, not eagles. But I'm fine with that. Most of my eagles do turn out like thunderbirds. I guess I should find a better pen. One sec. On his video, and I agree with him, he said, you should probably use a pencil to draw this on because sometimes the pen does bleed into the wood and then you have to carve it a little bit deeper where you don't want to. But, you kind of have to use a pen so you guys see what's kind of going on. So, I don't know if you guys are going to watch his video first or my video first, but I'm not going to, this video is a shout out for him, so it's not about me. But, I kind of want to. So I don't know how much carving I'll do of this on video, but I draw my eagles out the same way he draws his out pretty well. I just kind of find the place of the beak. Yeah, see, this is really bleeding into the wood. So the beak's here. And we all have our own style eagles. I noticed that he brought his up. He brought his up down there. And then so I guess I should have drawn that on after. I usually have my beak my problem is my beak's usually too big. So here's how I do his eye. I like my one to look aggressive. So I give it a little loop there, and then the eye will be in there. Okay, so his head will be here. You know, one of my friends, he's native, and when I first started doing the eagles, he was like, you know, hey, Jordy, eagles have more of a rounder head. And I'm like, well, because my eagles, lots of times they just kind of had a flat head. I'm like, well, I guess my eagles don't. You know, I just kind of carry on and have a good time. So, another thing too, so this would come here, go like this. My buddy Ben, chainsaw carving, taught me to put a kind of a cheekbone in there. And another thing too, I was taught, and Rex said it too, I believe, that the end of the lip kind of matches up towards the eye. So the end of the lip would be right about here. So this is I'm gonna kind of flare this out down here, and flare it out so it's kind of like soaring in the wind. We all have our own styles, everybody. That's the thing, you know. Don't get fixated on if you're not like Rex is like, I think he's probably at one point was known as one of the best carvers in the world. And I don't care what anybody says, and I still think he is. So do what makes you happy, have fun. The more you do, the better you're going to get. Now let's pull out the I think I'm going to use the ram carver today. The new ram carver, and this runs 50,000 RPM, so because this doesn't carve as fast as the Dremel, like I can't be as heavy on it, so I'll take my time and try and do this the best I can. So I gotta admit, this is not the best eagle head that I've ever carved. I was trying to follow Rex's video identically, but I'm not him, so I did get tips. I did the little gouges in here for like feathers, just a little couple of them. Who knows what kind of bird this is? Who cares what kind of bird this is too? And this is going to hang on a wall like this, so it kind of looks better when it's like that anyways. You know, you want it to, or who knows, it might hang like this. It just depends wherever you put your hook, just like Rex says. So, at the beginning of this video, I had a little thing, I copied it and I shared it, and the guy was talking about art, and artists need rooms to experiment and expand and practice and do things over. So when I did this one, I also did this one, and I kind of reverted back to my older style eagle. And I you know, sometimes you have voices that speak to you in your head, and I was carving, I said I had this, it's just basic. Like this one, I'm just leaving basic in honor of Rex, right? But this one, I switched back to my old style because there was a voice in my head saying, Rex would say, Jordy, don't try to be like me. If you can learn from me, learn from me. But be yourself. Do your own art. Be you, right? Be you. And that's for everybody else too. Do your own art. Be yourself. This one's a table sitter. Like, you know, we'll just sit on somebody's table just like this. So, just like I said, be myself. So, what do I want to carve something here? This is kind of like its wing, you know. Goes up, then his face is a little bit long, but his wing would come out up here if his face wasn't so long. But I think I want to keep carving. I'm having fun. So it's my piece. It doesn't matter if I wreck it if I carve something in here. I don't even know what I want to carve in here. Maybe I want to carve some smooth. I think what I'm going to do is just carve my smooth swoosh lines. Have fun. That's the main point. Have fun. Experiment. Learn from others, but find your own style. Okay, so I don't know what kind of bird that is. It's kind of like I don't know, maybe it's a ladybird. So, and here's this one. I like this one better than that. I did put some black paint in the eyes. And here's that carving I did on the end there, that's end grain, so it was a lot harder to carve when you carve the end grain like that. Oh boy. So Mr. Rex there at Carver's Corner used this poly, wipe on poly. Okay, he suggests that you really mix up these cans before you put this stuff on. I've had this around for a couple of years because he says if you don't mix up, like shake the cans really good, the hardening agent sits at the bottom, so it's good to get it all blended in together. So I sat here for 5 minutes shaking this thing up. I think it's good to go. I'm going to put it in this little cup here. I got this fruity little paintbrush, and I'll paint it on. Yep. So like I said, he was using that juniper wood with all the beautiful eastern red cedar with all the beautiful colors in it. So, you know, I tried to do different techniques with the colors of wood. This would be like the almost water wood here. So they don't all turn out to be your best pieces, that's for sure. You know, it takes a long time to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So don't give up. He does, when on his video too, and I agreed with him, he doesn't want to get the poly shade stuff, this poly, on the gray wood because he likes the color of the natural gray wood, leaving it as a driftwood looking effect kind of deal. He doesn't even know who I am. I did leave a comment on one of his videos saying that I'm your biggest fan. Man, I just don't like that eye. I wish I did not darken it up and just kind of left it natural. It's okay. It's all right. It all works out in the end. As long as you're having fun, I don't think anything else should really matter. Kind of fade that out into there. And he does do the background. I don't have a hanger on this. I don't have the same hangers that he had here, and I'm not going for a 20-minute drive to get it. So I don't think I'll be able to hang this like he had his hung. I hope he's able to see this video. I'm going to send it to him somehow, or if somebody knows how to get a hold of him, it would be awesome to if he gets to see it, knowing that his videos, if he posts more carving videos out there, they're going to really help people like me and you. So yeah, this is definitely 100% a ladybird with their little things there. So we'll let this dry off a bit. Actually, you know what? Might as well put some coating on the cedar one. Oh, and another thing too, he always talks about on his videos is being careful with that tip of the beak. It could break off. Well, you know, mine broke off. You can see there, I had to crazy glue it on. So you gotta listen to what they say. So this is Western Red Cedar. And how about I get this all done and I'll be back. I did sign your pieces, everybody, and he suggests to do the back too, because when people look at buy the piece or the commission, they like to see the back done too. So I just did the back there. See, look. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one. I took out the burning around the eyes. I carved it off. Then I redid the poly stuff, and I got a hanger on the back, so it kind of hangs like this. So I think that's a lot better. You know, this definitely is not my most favorite eagle that I've done. If it even is an eagle, whatever, doesn't matter, have fun. And then there's this one. I like this one better. Western Red Cedar. You know, you could also, this one doesn't sit too well, but you can make it sit better on the table, and then you could carve a little hole here, put a fake plant in there, or like a tea light or something like that. So also, I did end up staining this whole one with that stuff, clear coating it, because, well, the clear coat kind of ran back here when I was doing it, and I said, screw it, I just did the whole thing. So you guys just do, and I carved this little guy. This originally was the face of the tip of the eagle. I just carved this in 5 minutes just for the fun of it. You can even put this right there if you wanted to. So once again, everybody, whatever type of wood carver you are, beginner, advanced, pro, I think we're very lucky to have Rex Branson back making YouTube videos. Now, like I said, he made a video 25 years earlier, and it was a class, but now he decided that he wanted to get into the YouTube stuff. So it's just absolutely thrilling, and I think we should all be very lucky. So make sure you head over there and subscribe to his channel and watch his videos, study them. Like I said, I've watched his wood spirit video, his mountain man video. I think it was for like 4 times. And I keep on watching it because there's some great tips on how to carve faces and stuff like that. So Rex, if you see this, please make some more wood spirit mountain men videos, Native Americans, all that stuff. I totally get your teaching style. I think it's the best out there. That's my opinion. Don't care what anybody says. Carve and Fusion, over and out. Don't shit pants.